happiness come from within, so what you create for you, no one can take from you. Your energy and your soul, it's all that goes wherever we go. Everything goes.
Hey butterflies, so we're gonna start with this long skirt that I got for $2 at the thrift store. I like that it was long because it gave me a lot of material to work with. I'm just gonna put a skirt that I like the length of and not really the fit, and just go ahead and just cut the bottom half of the skirt off. So with the excess fabric, I'm just gonna kind of draw out the shape I want the front of my dress to have. I was inspired by this dress I saw online for $69, but I was not trying to pay $69. So I'm just gonna draw a quick sketch and leave some room for seam allowance. Once I do that, I'm just gonna cut it out. Once I have both pieces, I'm just gonna fold back the front and go ahead and hem that to have it looking nice and neat. When it's done, I'm just gonna sew a straight stitch. For the straps, I'm just gonna measure out about 2.5 inches of the extra fabric that I had left over, and I'm just gonna sew a straight stitch along the edge of that once I have them both cut out. And they both should be nice and wide and thick. I tried it when they were smaller, but it was so hard to invert, so the thicker the better. Now I'm just gonna connect my front piece and my straps together, right sides facing each other, and do a straight stitch across the top and overlock it to make sure it doesn't pop. For the skirt, I'm just gonna take my handy dandy seam ripper and I'm gonna rip the side seams and the waistband of the skirt so that I can take in as much as I need. And I'm just gonna place a skirt that I love the way it fits on top of it and sew around it and then cut it out. When I got to the waistband, I just cut through it and then just sewed it down with the edge of the skirt at the top. So for the bottom of the skirt, I just kept it very simple and just folded it up once, about 1 to 1.5 centimeters, just to make sure it was nice and even front and back at the bottom of the skirt. And then I just did a straight stitch across and overlocked that straight stitch to make sure that my seams don't pop. So for this part of my skirt, in the video, I got footage of myself sewing this on the right side of the skirt, but I did decide to take it inside and I slanted it in a little bit to give me a V shape. So ultimately you would just pretend like this skirt is inside out, and instead of hanging my front pieces straight down, I kind of slanted them in so that when I lifted it up, it would give a nice V shape in the middle. I'm sorry guys, I forgot to get footage of it, but hey, at least I explained it to you. For the straps, I just crisscrossed them in the back, I pinned them down, and once I pinned them down where I wanted them to be, I flipped the skirt inside out and did a straight stitch and overlock stitch to make sure those seams don't pop, because honestly, that's the worst thing ever. Make sure you cut off the excess fabric, cut all the thread you see, cut your seams, and you are all done.